All right, this is the second mini podcast for the Midweek Exception. So I guess we're just going to kind of have to dive right into the second game of each of the matchups going on in the playoffs, right? Or should we do NBA news first? There's like a little bit of news
We should
going
introduce
around.
each other first.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say. What we should do first, I was going to be like, oh, this is Ayush.
Did I blow that?
Yeah, well, okay, that's Ayush. And
I dropped the
we also
ball of that one.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, don't worry about it, man. I'm not mad. I'm okay.
It's okay.
And
I'm sorry.
And we also have Justin on the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
That's how you handle an intro. Do you want to give another shot, Ayush? Very good.
I'm fine with it. I'm good.
All right, cool. And I'm John.
Hey, what's up, guys? There we go.
Hey, howdy, or whatever Chris says.
Hey, free cheese and hot sauce.
Oh, goodness. So, let's just go, I guess, into NBA news first, and then we'll dive into all of the second round games. Assuming you guys watched them. I don't know if you guys actually did.
I watched
Did you?
most of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched most of them. I think I missed one.
I missed Spurs, Clippers, and Grizzlies, Blazers. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed Grizzlies, Blazers, but you missed out on a good game with the Spurs.
Yeah.
So.
That was a hell of a good game. But yeah, I guess we'll get to that in just a few moments. So I guess the biggest news to come out recently was that Scott Brooks was fired from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously a coach that really didn't seem to be beloved by many fans of the Thunder, even general NBA fans. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of that has to do, I think, with just his like game plan, like the offense he ran. Didn't seem like he was terribly he was
Competent.
very right. That's a good way to put it, I guess. He didn't really like try to run plays or anything like that. There's like a lot of statistics rolling around that he's like one of the coaches with the best like winning percentage or most wins without a finals or without a championship.
Yeah.
But like that seems such like a definite thing that they're saying like he's never going to get a championship, which I don't think is fair because I don't think the guy's like he didn't like retire or he's not dead, like, you know.
And he's probably going to get picked up by another team.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah.
I don't think
do
he's
you guys
unemployed by next season.
Yeah, I think like a team will pick him up really quickly. So do you have any teams that you think would? I mean, it seems like people are throwing around like the Magic.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because when you look at Brooks, you've seen that he's such a really good player developer, and he can really make players like Oladipo, Aaron Gordon, Elfrid Payton shine.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best spot for him. I'm trying to think of other places though, besides Orlando, because it seems
People have
just so
said
obvious.
Nuggets, but I really don't want him to go because I want D'Antoni to go there for my selfish basketball reasons. I think that D'Antoni's fast-paced offense would really kill the Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Maybe I was thinking if the Jazz get rid of Quinn Snyder, because Quinn Snyder's not that great apparently.
Whoa, chill with
Snyder's
that.
a good coach.
I have not heard good things.
Didn't they have like
No.
one of the better winning percentages post All-Star break or something?
Yeah, they're like one of the top like 5, I
And
think.
best defensive like efficiency rating or whatever.
Yeah, they weren't that bad.
So maybe I'm wrong.
You are wrong, Quinn stays.
Maybe I'm wrong, but just don't kill me, Quinn Snyder. I'm sorry.
As I say, there are other coaches that like I'm trying to think of other teams that could use a coach. I mean, does Sacramento have Carl coaching?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they're gonna keep him for a while.
Okay, so they're good to go basically.
I mean,
Um,
Sixers, I guess, but her Brett Brown is still a decent coach.
Plus, he hasn't had like a fair chance with that
Yeah.
roster, really. You know, I mean,
Would the Raptors or the Wizards benefit?
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that's a good point. I think Grant brought
yeah,
that up too. Yeah,
I think maybe like the Wizards. Well, I'm trying to think of what the conditions have to be for the Wizards to fire Randy Whitman.
he blows the 2-0 series lead.
Yeah.
Oh
especially-
Lord.
Oh, okay.
Oh Lord, no, something happened, but yeah, no, the idea of them blowing a 2-0 lead, I think that would definitely do them in. Dwayne Casey, I don't know. There's a lot of people who are like Dwayne Casey should get fired, but I don't think he's gonna get fired this year.
Really?
I really doubt it. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think I have to look his contract and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if he's in his final year of it, then maybe they don't keep
Bring
him
him
on
back.
board. Yeah, right. But otherwise, I mean, he's improved their record every season he's been there. So
to be fair, though, even though they have somewhat playoff success so far, at least making to the playoffs, or if you're the Wizards right now, looking like they're about to win round one. Even so, that doesn't mean they won't get fired. I mean, coaches of the year have gotten fired. So
one coach of the year.
It's happened though. I'm not saying that these guys are necessarily most secure jobs in the NBA right now.
There was some post I was reading online where someone's like, "Oh, maybe the Bulls are going to pick him up when Thibodeau's done." And I'm like, I don't know. I mean,
we have our eye on who's his face, Hoiberg, right?
Yeah, no, he's not coming through though. He just
he's not coming through.
Well, I mean, he's like sick, dude.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, he has like some medical shit going on.
All right, we're gonna cut that part out real quick for a little bit.
No, you cut it out. I mean, it's like a heart condition or something. So I think
I'm sorry.
Probably. No, I'm
sensitivity.
Not. Oh no, you're not. You're okay. No
one's
upset with you.
Making it through could have been like if you weren't paying attention to the NCAA this year, where Iowa State just like shit the bed in the first round, and like if you thought that they had done well, then he might stay. But no, this dude is like really sick, so I don't think he's gonna be made up.
Yeah, it's sad. It's also like, I mean, there are people who are like, "Well, here you go, Bulls fans. Here's your new head coach." And like, after they got bounced out, I'm like, "Fuck off!" Like, the dude got knocked out in the first round. Who cares? That doesn't mean he's like a terrible coach. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm huge on Tibbs. You guys know that, so
yeah, I know.
Anyone else pales in comparison.
I'm the same. Even though he could be a great coach, I don't really follow him. Obviously losing in the first round isn't like a indicative of him being a bad coach per se, but
totally.
I wouldn't say that just because I'm so high on Tibbs, I don't want anybody else. That's all you're all I need, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the part where we slowly merge too much into Bulls talk, though, I fear.
Yeah, you gotta chill with that, John. You're the host.
Free Cheats and Hot Sauce, a Chicago Bulls podcast. Look for it on iTunes. So, Defensive Player of the Year was determined.
Kawhi Leonard.
So, yes, it goes to Kawhi, but Draymond Green had more first-place votes. And ultimately, what fucked him over was a bunch of people didn't even put him on their ballot, which is really stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah.
Like, to me, I wanted Kawhi to win. I think he deserved to win.
Same.
But I think you have to have Green at your number 2 if you pick Kawhi number 1.
For me, it was always Kawhi 1A, Draymond Green 1B.
Right.
So I was fine with either one. I'm happy that Kawhi got it, but with the Green's higher record and more games played, I could easily see it going to him too.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they left him off the ballot because they really don't like him for some reason. That's like the obvious choice.
Then why are they voting if they're not being objective?
That's
because it's not necessarily objectivity. It's people journalism and stuff, and journalism is based off narratives.
Yeah,
it totally is.
So so just real quick is that these obvious guys obviously don't like it. I don't really like the way I can't tell if I like the way the voting is set up, because at one end it's actually pretty damn fair, but at the other end you just have guys do that. But I guess it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, for the most part they get it right, and it's such a complicated process. I'm not sure how anyone could fix it if it even needs to be fixed.
They need to hire CPG Greg, whatever his name, CPG Greg, to figure out a new system.
Yeah, why not? Honestly, I spaced out for something I heard. Like, wait, well, who did he say? Or what did he say?
I have no idea who he was talking about. I gave him a courtesy laugh.
Oh, YouTube CPG Gray. He makes good videos about stuff like that.
Oh, shit, okay. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes so everyone can look at what CPU Greg. Like what?
CPG Greg, I think.
Gray.
MLG Greg. What?
Oh,
LOL
baby.
player Greg. Damn, son, where'd you find this? Okay.
So, basically, so third place in Defensive Player of the Year voting was DeAndre Jordan. If we go into that, we're going down a very dark hole where I go off and say that he doesn't deserve anything. Well, that's mean, but I don't know. It seems so basically the logic in him getting it is rebounding and blocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Which admittedly, like he gets blocks and he gets a lot of rebounds, but his rebounding numbers are a little bit inflated probably because of Blake being gone. I mean, I could be completely off, and if
And
I
he's like,
am,
his body doesn't make sense. He's super athletic.
yeah. So it's one of those things where like for me, I value like rim protection stuff like that a shit ton when I consider who's like a really good center. And DeAndre Jordan isn't bad. He's at like 48.5% opponent field goal percentage when he's defending the rim, which isn't bad. But you know, you have Marcus Gasol's at 49.4%.
Gobert was at like 40, right?
Yeah, Gobert at 40.4. Timothy Mozgov's at 47.5%. You know, it's one of those things where like, and Gobert he was somewhere in the mix of the top 5, I think.
I think he was 5th.
Which like, man, so Gobert also averages 2.3 blocks. DeAndre Jordan's 2.2. So in a sense, what it kind of came down to, I think, was the fact that the Clippers were a playoff team and the Jazz were not. Right? Like that has to be part of it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, I was the person who had DeAndre Jordan as number 1 on my list for Defensive Player of the Year. I don't necessarily disagree with you guys on the fact that like the blocks and the rebounding can kind of be misleading, but the idea that just because he has the athleticism and he's got the long, lanky body that makes rebounding easier for him, I don't agree that should be a takeaway.
Oh,
that
yeah,
shouldn't
definitely
be
not. Definitely
That's some Harrison Bergeron shit, man. I can't deal with it. I can't get behind it, man.
Yeah.
So,
you shouldn't knock on someone for like their athletic gifts. I totally agree with that. But I think Grant brought this up where he's saying like DeAndre Jordan's going for more highlight plays with his blocks rather than doing what's best for the team. I mean, a lot of times he can go up there and corral a block or just like smack it out of his hands and steal it in the air rather than just throwing it 3 feet into the stands. It doesn't work.
To be fair though, people have said that about Dwight Howard, but I would say that it also has the intimidation effect. And
that's fair.
But I mean, I guess it's just my opinion. And to think about it like that is that wouldn't his rebounding numbers go up if he was just tipping them and then catching them again?
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's true. I guess.
But I mean, I guess the other stuff is fair game. I think that's fair criticism.
I'm
not too mad
just
about that.
Advanced stats wise. I mean, I don't have any on hand right now, but from what I've seen throughout the season, advanced stats is where he starts to fail a little bit. I mean, from the eye test, yeah, you'd be like, oh my god, he's a monster. But if you start really digging in deep, you can see that he pales in comparison with other people like the winner, Kawhi, and Draymond Green.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest deal for me. I'm not going to catch feels over this. But I did really like DeAndre Jordan's play this year and so far in the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, DeAndre Jordan is by no means a bad pick. I think I was being a little bit hyperbolic going into this being like, he doesn't deserve anything, which, I mean, he was my number 3 pick, which maybe looking at numbers a little more closely, I would have put in Gobert or someone else there, but by no means is he a bad option to have for your number 3 pick. Or, you know, even number 1, hell, you know. Do whatever you want to do, I don't care.
I had Tim Duncan number 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
No, he was okay.
I would keep him in my top 3, but Kawhi should have been number 1. I think I mentioned that on the
46.9% for Duncan.
Alright, chill with that. Old man Riverwalk.
Old man Riverwalk, son.
I like how my guess for 6th man of the year was like perfect to the voting, and my defensive player of the year guesses
like
were
flipped.
Exactly, it was the exact opposite.
Nice. Yeah. So, is there any other NBA news we need to go into, or are you kind of just going to go right into the games that happen? Oh yeah, what I was going to do is I was going to have us, when we talk about the last Mavs Rockets game, go into all that stuff.
All right, so you got to give me an outline then, dude. I can't read your mind.
Okay, so how about we go into that game first?
Yep, let's do that.
So the Mavs and the Rockets decided to face off due to playoff seeding. They didn't really have a choice in the matter. And as I think we have all kind of anticipated, the Mavericks didn't fare particularly well. I mean, they lost 111-99 in the game. And I think the most notable thing to come out of it was
Josh Smith.
Smooth.
Yeah, he was good.
He Yeah.
He had a damn good game though. I mean,
What I
it's one
noticed
of
the most was he was totally, like, absolutely abusing Dirk in the pick and roll, and whether that was leading to him getting to the rim or throwing a lob to Dwight, something came out of that pick and roll situation every single time.
Yeah. So in 26 minutes, he had 15 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. So nearing a triple double, which would have been pretty cool to see. Honestly, I've been pretty happy to see
Yeah.
that. But, I mean, just seeing him actually have like life on another team and not being like the punching bag of, you know, the whole team and like fans and stuff is kind of.
Because I've said this before. I mean, if he doesn't shoot threes, he can be a phenomenal player, and finally he's learning not to do that with the Rockets.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, Josh Smith is kind of like the feel good story of the game. I mean, but I guess to me, what the biggest thing to come out of this game was what the hell happened with the Mavs and Rondo. So there's a play. Was it? I think in the first quarter or second quarter.
Yeah, it was in the first, I think.
Where Rondo was bringing up the ball after a rebound, and he got called
bringing up, quote unquote.
Yeah, and he just kind of like slowly walking to the halfway point, and then he got called for an 8-second violation. And he didn't seem like, you know, usually if a player gets called for something like that, they kind of throw their arms up or they look frustrated. He didn't really seem to care. And then the next possession, he played no defense.
And Jay Terry, dude.
Yeah, and of course, Terry knocks down a 3. Like, was surprised.
That was... I don't understand. That thing just blew my mind. If I was Carlisle, I would have walked down the court and just dragged him out right there.
Well, there was a quote, right, that came out today that was like, do you expect Rajon Rondo to be in a Mavs jersey next year? And it's like, absolutely not, from Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
And they even said ever again, so I don't know if he's even going to play anymore in the series.
Yeah, it was, then Rondo was listed as having a back injury, so he's out for game 3, so
we don't want you back injury.
Yeah, I think he's, his time with the Mavericks is coming to a close. Which led to me going on eBay immediately and buying a Rajon Rondo bobblehead.
It's such a smart collection. I should have thought of that.
Yeah, just buying like train wreck trades and stuff. So obviously things are not going well in Dallas. You know, I want to think the Mavs take a game from this series, just almost like as a fuck you to Rondo. To be completely honest, like at this point, I really wanted the Mavs to win it in the first place, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
Nope.
I think Houston just has too much right now, and with them actually having a bench,
and Dwight like playing well from after injury.
Yeah, Dwight's been playing really, really well. So I think that unfortunately things might be done for the Mavs. Are there any things that, I mean, also Chandler Parsons is out. They're shutting him down for the rest of the year because of an injury. So, you know, you take that away, him being a good 3-point threat, and, you know, is a solid player on the floor. So, like, really, what does that team have left right now? You have Monte Ellis, Dirk Nowitzki.
Devin Harris is coming back, I guess.
Yeah, Devin Harris. Felton.
Felton's been okay for them.
Yeah, we're gonna get some minutes.
Tyson Chandler.
Yeah, man. So, do you guys really want to dwell on this game, or is it basically?
There's not much they can do. They can't do much.
Yeah, Justin, any thoughts on that?
Not really too much. More to say about the series, but I did really like watching Josh Smith have a really nice game. I felt like it was a very perfect situation for him to be in, kind of going against Dirk, who seems to have lost a step due to age now, at least defensively, and then having to get picked up, and you don't necessarily have to take the shot because you can just throw up a pass to a great dunker like Dwight Howard. It just seems like the perfect situation, and the Mavs did not counter at all. They didn't do anything to stop it, so it was great. Good for him.
Yeah, definitely. So, do you guys want to move on to another game?
Let's do it.
Because we're actually going out of order, which is fine because it kind of keeps you guys on your toes, I think. So, let's go next into Golden State and the New Orleans Pelicans. Golden State beating them 97-87 was a competitive game.
Yeah, it was until really late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there was a certain point in the fourth quarter where everything started going really, really well for Golden State.
I think right when Eric Gordon didn't make that 3. pull
Yeah.
up the rate, that's when I knew that it was the Warriors' game to lose.
Yeah, that was clearly when it was over. So yeah, I mean the thing is the Pelicans are putting up like a really good fight. If I could compare this series to another series going on right now, which we'll dive into in a minute, and it is the Hawks and Nets. So I feel like the Nets are just like not going away. It's kind of the same thing with the Pelicans right now. Like, I feel like the Pelicans kind of, they'll keep battling. Anthony Davis will keep going to work, and it's a shame because I feel like they don't really stand much of a chance. But
I just want them to steal one game. That would make me really happy.
Exactly. Like, take one. I mean, obviously you have to take one at home, but I kind of want them to take one at the Oracle Arena.
Yeah,
but
that'd be nice.
That would be nice. But yeah, I mean, last game, Tyreek Evans, points, 10 boards. Eric Gordon, 23 points. Anthony Davis,
5 threes, I think, right?
For 5 3. Let's see, yeah. He had 5 threes. Nice. Shot 50% from deep. Anthony Davis, 26 points, 10 rebounds. So they're getting production from some of their guys. It's obviously just not enough, though. I mean,
they're still a young team, so they don't really know the art of finishing games, So yeah. They can't keep it up for the full 4 quarters like the Warriors have for this whole season.
Exactly. And then also Drew Holiday just being out now, it seems. He came back
he's on and off.
Yeah, he was a DNP for the game. So, I mean,
it seems like it's the difference in bench to me, at least.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a huge factor.
And the fact that the Warriors seem to be confident enough.
Part 2 of the phone call. I'm sorry. I'm going to be right back.
It seems like the Warriors are kind of in a spot where they're confident enough to. They feel like even if they're losing the game, they feel like they're just going to get hot near the end. And you just can't count them out. They'll just get hot, start shooting, and pull themselves back into the game. And it's really what's intimidating, or what's the word I'm looking for? Depressing, if you're the other team, because you see it, you kind of have to expect it to happen. And if you start seeing it happening, it's just like, oh Lord, what can I do? Like, what can we do? And also, another thing is that Anthony Davis, this was the game I expected him, or not really expected him, that I wanted him to have in Game 1. But it seemed like basically it was like Game 1, fourth quarter, where he went off, but it was going on the entire game. So I was really happy. That was a really good performance for him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, another thing that obviously has to be said, considering we just talked about Defensive Player of the Year, is Draymond Green. When he plays D on Davis, like anytime he's defending him or trying to block a shot or something, like, holy shit, that's a really fun matchup to watch. There was a statistic that honestly I should probably have jotted down somewhere, but I don't. But basically, it was just showing how much.
I think it was like he scored only like 18 points on Green and like 43 on everyone else.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. I mean, it was just one of those stats where I was just like, holy shit, like, it kind of just further makes a good claim for why Green has to be regarded as an elite defender, which he already is. So yeah, I mean, it's been a fun series to watch. I think, like, in my mind, it's like tainted, this kind of knowing. This kind of goes back to what you said. It's like, like, the Pelicans have to know, okay, they're just gonna start shooting, they're gonna start making their shots, and then what? Then what do you do? And they're a young team. I mean, it's hard to go into a series where you're kind of doomed from the get-go. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just like a little bit cynical of me to be going into it assuming like, oh well, we all know what's going to happen. Golden State's going to get hot at the very end. They're going to come back and win it.
Although that does sound cynical, I mean, that's pretty much been the story so far.
Yeah, it really has been. So I guess since we brought up the Hawks and Nets game, we might as well kind of go into that. So Atlanta hung in at the very end and won 96-91. So it's been a deceptively close series, I think. And am I reading into it too much as to the state of the Hawks right now? Like, do you think maybe there's kind of slacking off a little bit? And granted, Cephalosha is out for them right now, but am I reading into it too much, like seeing these like scores for teams that they should be beating by like double digits, or is there a little bit of like, is there writing kind of on the wall that the next round is not going to be very easy for the Hawks?
I think you're reading into it a little too much, just because the Nets are so bad and the Hawks are so good. I mean, do you have Brooks' stats for that game?
Let's see. Hold on. Oh yeah, Brook Lopez, 20 points, 7 boards.
Okay. See, because I feel like the only way the Nets are gonna beat the Hawks is if they keep going to Brook, like, repeatedly. And I know Horford like dislocated his pinky finger or something. I don't know if that's affecting him, but I still think that the Hawks are beating them fairly easy throughout the games, even though the score doesn't show it.
Yeah, Horford was 14 points, 13 rebounds. That was yesterday. So I guess he's doing all right. One of the big takeaways from the game is at the very end, Darren Williams had a chance to knock down like a wide open 16-foot jump shot, and he's completely missed it. I mean, it wasn't like a
complete miss. It rimmed out, right?
Yeah, rimmed out, but it's one of those things where, of course, everyone kind of blew it up, being like, well, if Jarrett Jack took that shot, I'm like, this is one of the fucking going, well, if Jarrett Jack took the shot. But Jarrett Jack had a damn good stat line. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists.
How many minutes?
He had 29 minutes.
Damn, that's pretty good.
He did work. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's been kind of the story of the season. Is like Jarrett Jack will have a really, really good game, and Darren Williams will suck, or vice versa. So, yeah, it's been an interesting series to watch, to say the least. I mean, seeing a team
who would have thought that though? An interesting matchup: Hawks versus Nets. What?
Yeah, I was completely just shitting on it earlier. Yeah. I was like, this is dumb basketball. Who wants to watch this?
I guess playoff football is always interesting in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like the intensity. It's seeing the crowd get really into it. That always kind of plays a part of why it's so interesting to people, I think.
The playoff T-shirts too.
Playoff T-shirts, yeah. I mean,
lack thereof for the Bulls.
Yeah, seriously. I wonder if any other teams just don't do the playoff T-shirts. Also, I have breaking, upsetting news. Not really breaking, because it was an observation I made. But I think it was last week's podcast. Justin and I were talking about the power clap.
Yeah.
And
by Yeezy.
Yeah. Ends up it's not a Bulls exclusive thing.
Yeah, I heard it at the Cavs game.
Yeah, I was gonna text you and be like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, dude, it was bad. I was like, oh no. I thought it was like a little exclusive. I like when every team has their own little exclusive thing they have. But I guess that's not the case.
When I walk in, everybody do the power clap.
To be fair though, when the Cavs did it, it wasn't nearly as long, and nobody was clapping, so that's a plus.
Yeezy's from Chicago, so I mean, is it really definitely a Still's thing?
Cavs gotta bite our style. That's how it is.
Yeah, man. The Cavs skyline on the court.
It's fucking Chicago skyline.
Nice Sears Tower, Cavs.
We come the next Bulls game, a Bulls Cavs game in the next round. They're wearing Bulls shirts.
Just like, please, guys, we want to be part of yours. Want to be your friends. So the Bulls and Bucks faced off on Monday night, and it was a first half, then a really exciting second half. Yeah, so the first half, the Bulls only scored 11 points in the first quarter, which is pretty terrible.
Yeah, it was
Derrick Rose 0 for 7 in the first half, 6 assists, but yeah, I don't know. It was one of those games, the first half was complete shit, but then the second half happened, and everything went fucking nuts.
Jimmy G buckets.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler completely goes off. I'm thinking more specifically of the chippiness of the game.
Henson versus Brooks, Nico versus Pachulia.
Henson versus Brooks. Butler and Mayo.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about that one. Yeah, Butler and Mayo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, underrated moment in the game when underrated scuffle of the year. It'll be reviewed again in 10 years and be regarded as a classic. But yeah, there was a point where Brooks was running down the court, and then Brooks was trying to take a charge. Henson completely decks him, stands over Brooks, starts talking shit to him, and then like not really the bench is clear, all the players kind of gathered around there, and we're trying to split things up. And then next thing you know, Jimmy Butler emerges in this like middle of a crowd, face to face with OJ Mayo, and I'm just like, what the hell happened? Like, how did we end up here? Like, I thought it would just be Brooks and Henson like yelling at each other, but nah. So second half comes along. Nico takes an elbow to the back of the head from Pachulia. You know, it's a little bit controversial and like up in the air as to whether or not it's really
or if it's intentional or not.
In my book, intentional or not, yeah. So that happens, and then like 2 possessions later, they're going for a loose ball, and Pachulia kind of swings his arm back, like shove off Nico, I guess, kind of, and then Nico shoves him back, and then everyone goes completely nuts, and it was just a weird game. Bulls were able to completely handle them by the end of it. Final score of 91-82. So Bulls are going to be playing today, actually.
Another
against
home
the Bucks
game
in Milwaukee. Yeah, which has become pretty much regarded as being another home game since Bulls fans tend to travel pretty well and go up north for games at the Bradley Center. So, any major takeaways from this game, or is it kind of just being regarded for the fact? Oh yeah, that Nikola Mirotic will be missing the game due to a knee injury. They tested him for a concussion, nothing. So
and
that's obviously
was not suspended for Game 3.
Right. Yeah. So those were kind of the 2 notable things I think came out of the whole game. Yeah. I had thoughts the Bucks were going to take the first game at the United Center, didn't happen. Then I was like, all right, then I take the second game at the United Center, didn't happen. Now I'm just saying, fuck it, it's going to be a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but they don't really have a home court advantage. So yeah, I think it's going to be a sweep as well. I had us winning in 5, but I don't even see them winning a single game because Giannis hasn't showed up at all. Middleton showed up for Game 2. He wasn't playing that well in Game 1, and they just can't seem to keep us down defensively for too long.
In my opinion, it seems like the worst thing that you could do for the Bulls is like get in an argument with them or fight them a little bit, because when the Bulls are pushing or they're struggling. When they're struggling a lot, they kind of just get bored, and you can end up winning the game with a bored Bulls and with a bored Bulls team. So you don't want to get them excited, because if you bring them back in, they can end up destroying you. So
that's why Noah had like 19 boards or something, right?
Exactly. He had 19 boards, because it's mostly based off how arousal per se. You could say it's based off arousal.
They're getting hot and bothered.
Exactly. So you get a little bit of fight between OJ Mayo, you get a little bit of fight with Zaza Pachulia, and the Bulls just go full hard on. They're ready for it.
Yeah.
The Bucks are the Bulls
full
Viagra.
Let's see your ad.
Oh no.
So any other takeaways from that game, or is that kind of it? We're just gonna leave it off.
I want to say I was impressed with Rose. I mean, I know he didn't score well in the first half, but just seeing him switch up his game to facilitate more was really nice to see.
Definitely.
I mean, again, you have to comment 6 assists in the first half, 9 for the game. He kind of flirted with the triple double too, so nice to see him have a good game.
And it seemed like
the Celtics and the Cavs. Go ahead.
Oh, and it seemed like right when he wasn't going to be a good 3-point threat for the game, he just started hitting them. And it seems like with Nico not being in the game in the next game, the Bulls still have to win it. There's no excuse. Yeah. If you can't win a game against the Bucks without Niko Mirotic, then you don't deserve to even make the second round.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, Nico really wasn't doing a hell of a lot in this series. I mean,
which is okay.
Obviously,
we're still winning, but yeah.
The Bulls are still winning, and at the end of the day, he does stretch the floor for them because he's a 3-point range. So, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those series, like, it's fun to watch to see players that kind of chippy in each other's faces, but otherwise, it's not exactly the most exciting basketball, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm being so down on everything. I need to stop. I'm sorry. I gotta work on that.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Thanks. I was looking for a little pickup there, and then no one said anything. I was like, oh shit, maybe I really
Sorry,
am.
I was checking my phone a little bit. My bad.
That's okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. Priorities. So then the Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers faced off in Cleveland. I'm sorry, jeez. And Cleveland won 99-91. and the Celtics were really hanging in there. Like they're
underrated.
Yeah, they are underrated, and they just would not go away. Like they just kind of kept like battling and hanging in there. Isaiah Thomas, 22 points in 30 minutes.
I mean, yeah, he was playing really well, but I think he kind of lost the game for them at the same time with all his turnovers late in the game.
Yeah, like notable stat lines for Cleveland. Kyrie Irving, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. LeBron James, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Kevin Love, 13 points. I think
notable.
Notable.
Yeah, you're right. You're true.
Yeah, like notable as in like the first game, people were kind of shitting on him, being like, "Oh man, you didn't do anything." But he actually wasn't like off the bat he was bad. But that's just like jitters early on. I think. I mean, first time playing in a playoff game, you're gonna fuck up a lot. So he did. This time around, I was a little bit surprised that he didn't put up. Like I wasn't expecting him to, knock down like 30 points, but I thought he'd get into like the 20s maybe. But evidently, I was wrong, and that did not happen. Do you guys think Boston takes one game at home?
I don't think so. I'd be very surprised if they did.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they have enough to hang in there, but like they can't get that final push to get a win over Cleveland.
It seems like it's like that for a lot of teams this playoffs. They're keeping it close till the very end, but then the better team just continues on.
Yeah. I don't know. It was one of those games that was really fun to watch, but like by the end of it, for Cleveland, kind of the highlight has to be Brad Stevens being a really fucking good coach. Like LeBron at the end of the game threw up props for him, being like, "There's a really well coached team," which that's cool. See that I don't know. It's nice when a player's like, yeah, he's good at what he does.
He's a good coach though. Like I can see him staying with them for a really long time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just one of those games wasn't particularly. Not a hell of a lot to take away from it. I mean, Kyrie Irving's going to continue to be incredible in this series, as is LeBron. Kevin Love will figure it out, maybe. I think he will. Don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he. It's not necessarily that he can't. I just don't think he needs to.
Yeah.
I think he's fine what his role is doing, at least for now.
Yeah. So for the next game, I'm gonna kind of defer to you two to fill me in on it because I didn't really watch much of it at all. Washington Wizards, Toronto Raptors. Wizards win 117-106.
Oh my god, this game sucked.
Was it sloppy and just like really shitty, or like
what was it sloppy so on one end? The Wizards shot 58% for those 3 quarters.
Jeez, wow!
It was just rough all around. They couldn't do anything. Wall, I believe, had 17 points. I mean, the score showed that it was closer, but I mean, he wasn't. Well.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stat line for Wall: 26 points, 17 assists. Bradley Beal, 28 points. Yeah, man, holy shit! Fucking Otto Porter, 15 points, 9 boards. Yeah, he had a good game. So was there much really notable from Toronto? I guess double-double for Valanciunas, 15 points, 10 boards. DeRozan, 20 points. Lou Williams, 20 points.
Lowry, I think, had a really shitty game.
Yeah, 6 points, 2 boards, 4 assists.
Wow.
What happened? Like, this was like the series that a lot of people... Like, I picked Washington to win this series.
But I thought it'd be like in 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's starting to look like it's like 5, maybe. Maybe it could be a sweep for all we know.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what the Wizards do to adjust when they take him at the Wizards' house. But 5, 6, 4, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, Justin, did you watch the game or?
Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun watching it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially what you guys said. Wizards just are too good. They seem like they're just running away with the series.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit surprising. I always saw like the Raptors get really hyped for the playoffs like last year, and obviously this year there was a thing where what the fuck did he say? This year he was like we don't give a shit about it or whatever.
We don't give a shit about it. It's just it.
You said I don't like it was fine the first time because it was like in the spur of the moment, but he's just like a walking meme now.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know, I still think it's funny as hell. It's the fact that
yeah.
he's like yelling stuff like that, and
In front of
know.
Adam Silver too, which I guess that part was funny.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Just drop that right in front of him. Yeah, so Justin, I know you watched this game. The Clippers and Spurs last night. Spurs win 111-107 in overtime. I watched it as well. That was a hell of a fun game, wasn't it?
Probably the best game of the playoffs so far.
Yeah, it was like a really fun game to watch. I mean, obviously a lot of people were kind of turned off by the fact that there was some hack of Jordan going on.
Can we just let's all just agree that that's the dumb thing to complain about?
I know people complain about it.
For me, it's intense to see whether or not he'll make the free throws.
Yeah, it's to me like the this is an episode we need Grant on because he will go off about this. But to me, it's like the argument people always put up is like, well, I'm paying for this as entertainment. I don't want to see this. Well, fucking too bad. Like,
yeah, they're playing to win. So
exactly, and like at the end of the day, if Hack of Jordan works, Hack a Shaq, Hack whoever, if it works, the game ends up being closer. Like, it ends up being a more competitive game, which is what you want. Like, you want competitive basketball, especially if you're not invested in either team. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where like I get the frustration, I get that it slows the game down, and maybe if you have to like go to bed or something, it kind of pisses you off. But at the same token, I feel the same way, Justin. I think it's intense because, oh shit, is he gonna make them? Like there was a point where DeAndre Jordan went like 4 for 5 at the free throw line. Now it's like, all right, I don't know if Hack of Jordan's gonna work anymore.
Yeah,
the DeAndre Man Riverwalk.
Exactly, because the first few he made them. And it was like, oh, is this going to work? And then I think near the end he got frustrated and started missing quite a few. And then it wasn't even per se Jordan who was missing them. Matt Barnes missed a lot of free throws. JJ Redick missed one that just hung on the rim for a good 3 seconds.
Yeah,
free throws are intense. This is not going to be the thing that destroys basketball, that makes it unwatchable. So I'm not going to worry about that. And I think it fits in well with the game. So, but yeah. Despite whatever people might think, it was a great game. And the Clippers had all the opportunities to win it. And the Spurs took advantage of a lot of the opportunities they gave up.
Yeah.
Patty Mills was shooting lights out.
Man, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say Kawhi Leonard was playing pretty damn good too, even though not necessarily on the offensive end. Ooh.
Yeah. Then also, obviously, Tim Duncan, 28 points, 11 boards, like... Holy shit.
Yeah,
at 38?
Turn back Wednesday, I guess.
Seriously. Yeah, a big takeaway from the game was Tony Parker injured. Apparently it's Achilles. So going forward, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, the team's pretty concerned about him. But, like, if you start Patty Mills at point guard, like, I don't know if you're if you're necessarily going to be in much of a worse position. I mean... I don't think it's going to be that detrimental to their success. I mean, either way, they play.
Now, I haven't watched the game, but has Tony Parker been guarding Chris Paul for this whole time?
Yeah, primarily, I believe. I could be wrong, though. I feel like Kawhi might have switched onto him at some point.
I feel like that's going to happen a lot more if Patty Mills is the one who's starting.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. I mean, that being said, like, it's not like it was just this one game where, like, Parker was out of it. Like, he, in the first game, looked a little bit, like, slow, like, a couple steps slow. So, I don't know. It was a hell of a fun game, though. It's definitely panning out to be the best series as of right now, I think, going on.
I had the Spurs winning, but seeing how the Clippers have been playing, and even though they lost this last game, they still stuck in there for quite a while. I feel like it's going to go a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely. I could see going to like 6 or 7. I mean, like, it's given. I think that's gonna go with 6 or 7. So it's not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Man, it's a real hot take over here, So last game for us to cover, unless I'm missing anything, I don't think I am, is Grizzlies and Trailblazers.
I'll let you guys take this one.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say, Justin, did you watch this game or no? I only watched a little bit of it.
No, I didn't watch it. But
that's a show, guys.
Looking at the highlights, Zach Randolph is beast.
Yeah, Zach Randolph completely killed it. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, that Grizzlies defense is completely terrifying. There was like a possession, I think, in the third quarter where LaMarcus Aldridge went up for a shot, completely missed it, but still they got an offensive rebound, and the defense is swarming to force a 24-second violation. Like, it was completely insane to seeing what that team does on defense. So, do you think the Grizzlies being such a good defensive team is gonna think that can carry them to the Western Conference Finals, or do you think they'll get bounced out next round or anything like that?
Who's the potential that they face next round?
I believe, unless I'm wrong, it would
Rockets,
be
right?
It would be the Rockets.
I think they could, with what they're playing right now. I think they could beat the Rockets, but it might be just because that Portland is so injured that it's making them look so good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that'll be an interesting series to see. I think I might go Grizzlies over Rockets, but it should be fun. Anyways, it should be at least decently close.
Yeah, totally. I feel bad. I feel like that we didn't have that much to say about that game, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
I heard Lillard's been poop, so there's that.
Yeah, not really. Since he's not scoring, it's not really. It's showing his shallowness, I guess, even on offense. So, but I mean, it's fine. The Grizzlies are just going to grind you out. You can't really do too much with them.
Yeah, totally. You really can't do much about it. I mean, it's what's going to happen. And for a team that's so beaten up right now in Trailblazers, it's over. Let's just put that out there, I guess. It's not going to go to 6. It's not going to go to 7. Maybe Trailblazers take 1. Unlikely, though, no matter how passionate and loud their fan base gets. I think it's kind of going to be over for them, which is a shame because that would have been a really fun matchup if they were at full health and all that fun stuff, Yeah. So, on that kind of sad note, that actually wraps up our podcast. We're going to be doing another one of these after all of the third games in each of the first round matchups are done and wrap up and all that stuff. Also got to give a shout out to the Our Baseball podcast, who we have partnered up with, do some promotional stuff. Really good podcast to listen to if you're getting into baseball or already are a fan of baseball. I already fucking blew it. So yeah, check them out.
They ruined the partnership, dude. They closed the deal.
Yeah,
you ruined it.
No. So if you go on iTunes, Pocket Casts, type in R Baseball, the letter R and then baseball, you'll find the podcast.
With the slashes.
What's up? Oh yeah,
I think it's with the slashes.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't have to do slashes, but you might as well do it. So you have to do 2 forward slashes, one on one end of the R, one on the other end of the R, and you'll find it. But yeah, really enjoyable podcast. Usually goes about hour 15 or a little bit more. Tons of information that covers everything going on in the world of baseball. But yeah, look us up on iTunes, the Midweek Exception. Also you're also on Pocket Casts.
We are not on Stitcher.
Yeah, we are not on Stitcher. We are also on Twitter at MW Exception. I did it right that time. I usually do MWE Exception, but no. But yeah, I think that will do it for our podcast this week. Anything else you guys want to say?
Nope.
Cool. Justin?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Nope. All right, and that will wrap it up. So yeah, look for us on iTunes and listen to the next episode.